The Sounders are through to MLS Cup for a second consecutive year. Welcome to Postgame on the Pitch. My name is Jackson Feltz of 950 KGR. A host of characters here for Postgame on the Pitch tonight. Mazvita Maraire of CascadiaSports.net, John Marshall of Pro Soccer, Stephen Agen of Pro Soccer, and Radio Cascadia. Guys, we are through to MLS Cup, second consecutive year, second consecutive Western Conference Championship. They did it here at home, 3-0 over Houston, 5-0 on aggregate. A hell of a match, a hell of an offensive output. Where I want to start, there's a lot of places to go tonight. Where I want to start, Stephen, down with you. You have bled blue and green your entire life. You're a journalist and you're a fan. What does it mean to you to see this team pull off a Western Conference championship here at CenturyLink Field in front of these fans?
Yeah, you know, it was wonderful last year in Colorado. Mazvita and I were there together, taking in the sights. And, you know, that was a great game as well. Jordan Morris scored there, and Seattle ran out 3-1 on aggregate. But tonight was such a celebration for the Seattle Sounders in their bid to book back-to-back MLS Cup berths. You know, you don't get situations like this in our league where you end up 5-0 up on aggregate in a two-legged series. The entire second half was a party. The whole game was a party. The atmosphere was a party.
You're smiling.
They partied afterwards.
When they're throwing the trophy up in front of UCS, I've never seen a bigger smile on your face, man.
And you know, I mean, everybody stuck around afterwards, and everybody celebrated it. And it's a moment that clearly the club has been waiting for since they came into this league, and it was very, very special to get to see it tonight.
Hell of a win. Yeah, Maz, I was going to throw to you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Stephen, and Brian Smetzer, local boy.
Yeah, you know,
Nathan Hale,
the best man in the world for this job. You know, there's nobody else who feels the pressure to make the Seattle Sounders succeed the way that Brian Smetzer does, because nobody feels the personal way about them that he can. And tonight they did it again. They came out and they did it just right. They didn't just advance. Brian Smetzer came out and he made sure that these people, these 45,000 at CenturyLink Field, left entertained. And sure enough, 3-0, 1 in the first half, 2 in the second, 5 on aggregate, 2 red cards for the Dynamo, and really only a couple of good chances over the 180 minutes. Sounders dominated this series, and they played their best soccer the whole year in doing it.
All right, so Maz, in terms of this match, and we can jump ahead to Toronto. We don't want to do too much of that yet. We have a lot of match preview to go in the next 10 or so days. But in terms of 3 goals in this match, how did this all work out for Seattle into a perfect storm?
And that's exactly what Stephen's alluding to, and I'm stepping on him. The entertainment, they played kind of this containment for the first 10, 15 minutes. They used a wide field, which opened up the middle of the field. Then they sent in runners, and guys that had the ball were being able to be creative. They were so self-expressed. Will Bruin trying a scissors kick. I mean, they were really trying that entertainment that Stephen is talking about. So I think that space in the middle, being self-expressed, entertaining, and really intricate passes, and you saw all 3 of those goals.
John,
incredible. They were creative all game with their passing. Will Bruin said afterwards that Smetzer had been telling him in the final third, try things, have fun, be creative, and you saw that on Will Bruin's first pass to get the first goal with Victor Rodriguez. Turns around, finds a running Victor Rodriguez for an open goal. You saw it all night with just how they moved the ball so well and 1-2 touch and let it go, and finding guys making the run into open space all game long. It was really a full, complete performance passing-wise for the Sounders, and I think one of the better performances passing I've seen in a long time.
And this is a team really peaking on the offensive side right now. This is 5 goals last 2 games. You know, Toronto's not going to be as easy, of course. I mean, Houston's a team that was beat up. But this is a team that's peaking at the right time if you're looking at it that way.
Yeah, and I mean, if you think about it from a statistical sense, Toronto put up a lot of impressive numbers this year, scored a lot of goals, 69 points was a league record. They went unbeaten for a huge stretch of the year and had 3 regular season losses for what seemed like forever. But if you look at the Seattle Sounders, that is their 6th consecutive clean sheet. In that time, they have outscored their opponents by, let's get this right, 3 tonight, 2 against Houston the other day, 2 against Vancouver makes 7, 4 against Dallas, 3 against Colorado is another 7, for outscoring their opponents 14-0 in 6 matches, including 2 playoff advancements, securing the Western Conference second place bye. This is a team playing almost perfect soccer right now, at least for as far as they can manage it. And I don't know that I know for sure they're not the favorites in Toronto, but I don't know that this team is so far away from 50-50 with the way that they look. If they can come out like that next week, everybody should really watch out.
To add to your stats in terms of the fantastic stats and why they're not being scored upon is they're playing smart on the defensive end, great communication. I mean, today Svensson was in there. You didn't really know he was there, right? There's no Torres in there, but what they're doing is that they're playing compact, good communication on defense, getting the ball out wide, possessing it, and then what you're not seeing is Christian Roldan playing the defense and the center mids playing defense and enabling to shut the other teams down. Would you say that?
Yo, totally. And that's why this team hasn't given up a goal in so long, is that even when, and it helps too though when you have Stephen Fry in goal, or Tyler Miller, as he played so well in Houston the first leg, even when they do slip up, when they do give a chance up, you have someone so reliable behind you that you know that you can make that mistake and you're probably not going to get punished for it. And so far they have yet to get punished for those mistakes, which has been really incredible to watch.
Well, for MLS Cup, Roman Torres back. He has served his suspension. All yellow cards are wiped, so Seattle is pretty much at full health. Jordan Morris got some legs under him, so we should, so we should see him in MLS Cup. Ozzy Alonso, a big question mark. Stephen Fry played excellently tonight, so he's a good to go. Really, there's just the Ozzy question mark, and the rest of this team should be good to go against Toronto. And I guess the sort of question is, do you need Ozzy in order to beat Toronto, or have we seen enough from Gustav Svensson in the time he's played there, next to Christian Roldan there, to be confident that this team can go into Toronto and do what they did last year?
You need Ozzy. You need Ozzy. You need Ozzy because Ozzy is the person that marked Dos Santos out in Toronto. Giovinco. Thank you, Gio. Thank you for that. And him too when he played. But no, he really marked him out of the game because what he was doing was jumping routes. He was getting there and sneaking those passes. The way that Alonso plays that defensive midfield, for me, I think you really need him there. Is it necessity to win? No, but it just makes the task that much more difficult.
Yeah, I don't think it's a necessity personally. I think you're right. It's a more difficult challenge without him. I'll tell you this, I don't think they're going to have to worry about it, to be honest. Alonso played on 8 knee injections between pregame and halftime last year. And if he is even close to being able to get minutes, this is a match where he will see them. It wouldn't shock me if tonight was a time where they rested him in anticipation of that match. Left him off the 18 altogether. And if you look at when he played at Vancouver in the first leg of the Western Conference semifinals, he didn't come off injured there. He took some minutes of that in that moment. I'm a big believer that when Seattle goes to Toronto, they should put Roldan back at the number 10 spot, drop Victor Rodriguez to the bench, drop Nuhu to the bench as well, probably, and let the team play with 3 holding midfielders, with Ladero moving back up into the band of 3. I'd like to see Alonso next to Svensson with Roldan as the 10. And I think that gives you your best chance to playmate going forward and still stay solid with 3 across the center mid on the way back.
But you're changing a whole lot of stuff.
I don't know.
You're changing your whole. How are you just going to start changing everything? I got you there.
I think Nuhu did well tonight, but I think that he showed enough inexperience and immaturity that you're worried about starting him. If he gets isolated when he grabs onto the soccer ball right over there and won't put it down and gets a yellow card for holding on to it. When he gets beat down in the corner over there and they put in a bad cross.
That kid got you here.
I'm with you. When they get to Toronto on the defensive end, they need to sit back a little bit farther than they did in this series, because Toronto is as good as they are. And the way that you make sure that you don't hamstring yourself in the attack, you're still staying perfectly solid on the way back, is you put Roldan at 10, because you can run your attack and he slots in just fine in between Alonso and Svensson on the way back. And I'm telling you,
I'm going to counter with that. I would. I really would.
There are a number of days here to debate over lineups. We will continue to do it. Radio Cascadia will have a new episode next week as we continue to debate.
And Radio Cascadia Live this Saturday.
That's timing to be announced. So just wait on that announcement in terms of the exact time. We think it's going to happen though. All right. Wow. 2 Western Conference championships back to back. This one at home. Pretty amazing, guys. Confetti here all on the ground. Let it rain. Outstanding celebration that we just had here in CenturyLink Field. Sounders ahead to MLS Cup 5-0 on aggregate over Houston. Toronto and Seattle rematch again December 9th as MLS Cup. For Stephen Agen, for John Marshall, for Mazvita Maraire, my name is Jackson Phelps. Thanks for watching Postgame on the Pitch.